Um, okay, cool. This is Chris with C-Level AI.
And I'm Elliot, Chris's buddy.
Yeah. Happy to have Elliot here today. He always has really interesting perspectives. So Elliot, can you start off by just kind of giving us a rundown of like career history so we can get some context of like perspective of AI?
Sure, yeah. I guess I've always been in technology and marketing. Got a degree in that a long time ago. Went to work at Google, not too far out of college. I worked there for about 10 years in data analysis and some of their AdWords programs and stuff like that. But I really got into a lot of the data analysis side for big clients and looking at Google, all this internal Google data, and basically saying, hey, here's why you should spend more money, all these custom insight types of things. And during that time, I got a master's in user experience. So I've always kind of liked
Oh, that's awesome. I
a
didn't know.
mixture of, data and just being, that non-engineer. I'm not a good software engineer, but I like the data and I like presenting data and making things useful for people that find a use out of things and making it usable for people. And then left Google to start a CPG company with my brother. It was a long time ago too, called the GFB, or the Gluten Free Brothers.
Yeah.
And we went on to we're still in business. We were built an 8-figure business making protein snacks here in Grand Rapids.
Yeah. I love them. I've had them.
Yeah, you've had plenty.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah.
so we did that. We're still doing that. I've kind of phased out of doing that to a large degree. My brother's still involved, but great business. We make it here in Grand Rapids and employ a nice workforce here. I've always had a lot of social goals, being a certified B Corp, and so some of that stuff is stuff I care about too. Sustainability measure efforts and
Hey, this is Chris. I'm a co-founder of AR Badger, and thanks for checking out C-Level AI. AR Badger is a project that we founded together because we're passionate about helping out small business owners and controllers and office managers, and we found a way to do that. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, why they should check out a demo?
Yeah, absolutely. Air Badger is your one-stop shop for all things accounts receivable and invoices, to collect more for your small business and chase some of those outstanding balances and just bring more cash flow to your everyday business.
Exactly. AI in the AR Badger situation is going to be able to probably answer about 70% or so of your clients' correspondence back and forth about open invoices. It also leaves voicemails and it will also text message to them. So it should reduce your AR person in your office's work by about 50 to 70% on average.
If you want to find out more, you can see more at www.arbadger.com.
Thanks again. Here's a question because this is interesting. So the B Corp thing is really fascinating. Like I looked at B Corp for a while, and I think that was when we originally met. There was a lot of conversations about that. But like, does B Corp have a stance on AI or how they feel about the ethicality of it? Because it's about community impact and all this stuff too, right? Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
yeah.
B Corp cares a lot about how you treat your employees. Yes, it's the number one thing. I mean, people think it's like, oh, you got to recycle. I mean, like recycling is a very small part of it. It's more about community, team members, your employees, how you're treating them, are you paying them enough? So I don't know. It's a good question. I haven't seen anything about it, but they're always changing their standards and like
They are.
Yeah, it's
But the B Corp thing was interesting to me. So like the stuff they wanted me to do to get B Corp at the time for the insurance agency was just totally untenable. Like two, I thought that hey, they're all good ideas. It's like a noble idea. Just for me to restrict my business in that way at the time was not something that really aligned with my goals. But I mean, it's very overall stewardship, right? I mean, it is about how you treat employees, but it's about how you treat your community and the environment and how your product impacts. I felt really comprehensive to me.
It's only gotten more comprehensive. Some people would say it's almost like too comprehensive.
Yes, it's like
It's
they're
very
running your
hard
business
to be-
for you.
It's very hard to be a B Corp in certain industries. I think
In certain industries.
in a production industry, in a production environment where you have, team members that are making, they're not making wages that B Corp wants to see.
Yeah,
But you can't afford necessarily to pay that wage. That wage is not really a thing.
there's a margin direction issue there.
Yeah, so it's a tough one for a lot of companies to continue to be B Corp. Yeah.
They really like wanted me to not fly because at the time I was flying twice a month all over, but a lot of California. And it was like, hey, the jet fuel impact and blah, blah, blah. And like, you can't fly. I'm like,
It's all those things. And then there'll be a lot of tracking of all that. I mean, then when your recertification comes up, you have to have all this data tracked. So, I mean, it takes a lot of resources, and, bigger companies have whole teams to devote it to this type of thing.
yeah, that's
For smaller companies, it's a lot to manage.
And for smaller companies, tough. You know what though, too? Like, look how many evil companies there are out there. And I say that with sincerity. Yeah, look how many evil companies there are out there. And I mean just blatantly evil, which I think you can throw big oil into that category pretty quickly. The tech companies and the AI companies themselves at this point are moving in directions that are non-congruent with like freedom, privacy, security, a lot of those kinds of things. Like, the world would be 1,000,000% better off if everyone was forced to be a B Corp, but because you make it optional and more of like a marketing label almost, to me, like, it's tough because those companies are just, you can't run as profitable of a margin to be a B Corp. There's just no way.
Yeah. I mean, it's not built into our economics to be. There's no advantage.
Yeah, we're ultra capitalist.
Yeah.
It's, hey, win at all costs. Who
Yeah.
cares, right?
And shareholders, I mean, some care, some don't.
Yeah, I mean,
And there's no really, I think some other countries they do this, but in America there is no economic incentive to be a B Corp. It's not like you're getting a tax break or something like that. You're basically just doing it to try to do the right thing, which is noble.
Yeah.
But there's a direct it's easy to see on a balance sheet the cost of being a B Corp.
yeah.
It's not easy to see on a balance sheet like the benefits of being a B Corp,
No.
because you want people to.
I mean,
want
it's
consumers
consumer,
to
isn't it, right?
It is part of your brand.
Consumers understanding that you really care about the people you employ or community and all
Yeah.
those kinds of things, which
It means
the
a lot.
environment,
Right. It means a lot to a lot of consumers. It does mean a lot to people that you are B Corp, but that awareness is still pretty low.
it is really
Consumers that are shopping, just trying to make ends meet, that are
They don't know
shopping on
what it is.
price. A lot of people just don't care,
Yeah.
and that's the way it is right now.
Ultra capitalist. The United States is so ultra capitalist. In fact, we tend to reward companies who cheat the most. I mean, it's become like a NASCAR thing. It's like, can we get extra fuel in the line somehow, or shaving outs here, or whatever it is? And like, a lot of those companies just pay the fines. And like, the banking industry in particular, which I want everybody to know, I hate the banking industry completely. Every part of the banking industry. That's also why I'm pro DeFi. But like, the banks pay billions of dollars a year in fines about how they conduct their business for basically like consumer related issues. Like, the Consumer Protection Bureau fines them like almost double. Then they're just like, oh yeah, we'll pay the fair million or whatever. And the stock brokerage companies pretty much same thing. Like, the sketchiness of it, it's just an acknowledged tariff to their profits.
Well, when you can
Pisses me off.
Yeah, when you can make billions of dollars and pay almost no taxes. I mean, what?
And you're paying almost no taxes. And your CEO's making 300 million.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah, it's a joke.
I mean, I think like whenever the capitalist system was set up, or like the lack of kind of regulatory intent originally, I don't know if that was like a founder's thing or it just kind of all happened like organically, but I don't think they envisioned a future where business leaders literally like scourge the American public as much as they can for profits,
Profits at all costs.
profits at all costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, where does that really even go either? I've always wondered that.
Well,
Shareholders, well, like, dude, I'm a shareholder. My 401k is a shareholder, but like, the impact on the people now is real and can be felt and seen,
yeah. Well, I don't think anything in the current administration is doing anything to help it better, make better for the common person.
Yeah. I feel like, I mean, we've talked about it before. I'm a libertarian, but like, I feel like nothing, it's all just status quo. And I do feel like there's like this deep state undercurrent of people that have just been bureaucrats forever that love seeing it that way, so like, regardless of which side you're on, like, which have any of them insanely gutted or redone our system, or like really
So many entrenched interests, and
lobby,
it's all
yeah,
like, how do we as just regular people, how do we change this?
it's like unfathomable. I don't know. There's a lot of people that just hate talking about it, and so with some people, I hate talking about it too. Not even that I disagree with their sentiment; it's just that they get so pissed about it and they feel so helpless, you know. And I think, oh, every vote matters and all this bullshit. Like, yeah, I don't know about that. I don't feel like that's true at all. Like the civics course lied to us in a way, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it comes down to, I mean, I don't know. I guess I would say that like our vote is the only thing that does matter.
I like the idea.
I mean,
When they basically like limit the candidates that you can even vote for by not even allowing a public stage.
yeah, sure.
And then the elections are like $1 trillion elections.
Yeah.
I think Obama's was the first one that was like $1 trillion or so.
Oh, really?
Can we Google that? How much was each election the last 4 years in a row? How much did each winning candidate spend on their election? It's ungodly amounts.
I know. Yeah.
So it's like, hey, if you only allow those candidates, and now there's the basically an acknowledgement that they're absolutely going to gut your life and treat you like garbage, whichever side you're on. You know, if it's Biden, it's more Fox News, and if it's Trump, it's more CNN or whoever he's pissing off at.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's kind of almost the same. You know what I mean?
It really is sadly all about money. I mean, the CNNs of the world, the Fox News of the world, they're just trying to make money by saying things that are going to
Sensationalism.
Reinforce the beliefs that their audience already has.
Holy echo chambers for sure.
And again, that just all is going back to the dollar, making dollars.
Do you feel like the quality of media has devolved in our lifetime? You know what I mean by that? Like, do you think it was higher integrity when we were younger, Peter Jennings and Barbara Walters and all this bullshit, or was it all still the same? We were just not hip to it.
Good question. I mean, I think it was less divisive because there was only a few outlets, and social media wasn't there for people to find their own little echo chambers and hear the same things that they want to hear all the time. So I tend to believe it was like a little bit more what's the right word?
Middle of the road.
Yeah, maybe a little bit
Moderate.
a little bit more moderate, not so divisive.
The divisiveness now is insane.
It is because so easy. I mean, you can find a YouTube channel for any crazy belief that you might have.
Oh, I saw a video of Trump pooping himself this morning. You know, it was like that was the premises of it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it got to my feet or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was basically like, we think Trump just pooped himself. And sure as heck, he kind of stands there and he's looking at like a pillar on one of these giant Washington buildings, and he's there for a while and everybody's around him. And then, I mean, is that what really happened? Dude, is that even a real video? Well, you know what I mean? Like, the whole thing is just like, what the amount of fake shit out there now because of AI too, right?
Yeah. Where's this going to go?
Yes.
I don't know where this goes, but
Can you think of an AI video that you thought was for sure real?
Oh,
God. And you're like defending as real, and then you're like, holy shit, it ended up being fake.
I can't think of one.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't remember, but I feel like I've had to watch a few times and been like, is this real or is this fake? But I don't remember which one it was. It was just some random crap.
I definitely marked myself off as a video being fake, like publicly, and it was not fake, and it was not the kind of video you wanted to get wrong either. It was like a civil rights, like cop beating a guy kind of situation. I was like, bro, this has got to be AI. You're hoping it's AI. And I was at that point, you know what I mean? But the video was just like constantly cut, so it was like every like 10 seconds or 12 seconds or something, it was like a whole new scene almost. And so to me, that was an indicator of it probably being AI. And also, one of the individuals had like some different appearance features between some of the cuts.
Yeah.
But then
So it wasn't AI though.
yeah, so I was like, dude, this is AI. This is like, send me a news source. This is not in the news. Where's ABC News on this bullshit right now? You know what I mean? It was like a George Floyd situation almost. And you know, everybody's like, dude, you're an asshole. You know, I just couldn't believe it to be real. But then sure as hell, like ABC the next day was like, this guy, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh shit. I went back on. I was like, hey, just, you know, I was wrong, you know.
Yeah.
But it's concerning too, right?
It is. I mean, and I think that some of them, you could kind of tell they're fake, but they're getting they're getting really good.
The Will Smith videos is such a good one.
It's like really hard to even tell those little artifacts and like the little weirdnesses you see in AI videos. Like those will be gone pretty soon.
I want to see a video of Will Smith sucking a spaghetti noodle up one nose and then blowing it out the other nose. And have it be realistic. Have you seen the Will Smith pedometer? No. It's like the only reason he's relevant now, other than him being a giant cuck. So they started off these videos with Will Smith, and like it was like him just eating a huge bowl of spaghetti. And the first videos were probably 6 or 7 years ago. I might be fake newsing you right now, but you get the idea.
Yeah.
And he's just like going wild. You can clearly tell it's AI and all this stuff. But each year they release a couple new versions of it.
Really?
And to the extent now that like, dude, I'd almost say you couldn't recognize the difference. But now, to me too, can you go from there to making it something that's like totally implausible, but then seem real? Like sucking a spaghetti noodle up one nose and blowing it off the other nose, and then he looks at you and you're like, whoa, wait a second, did you really do that?
Yeah. Well, let's wait till the next election and see how many crazy videos come out about like
Any
candidate
any candidate.
and what they did supposedly, and then everybody's gonna be confused, and then tons of people will believe that it's true, or it's just like gonna be a mess.
Dude, the amount. Well, first of all, can we just find a candidate that doesn't have a million things wrong with them in the first place from either side, right? Let alone the fake news, which just compounds it more and more. And then the other parties basically hiring PIs or doing whatever they can to find the weird shit, and then expanding it from there. I mean, it's wild. The presidential races definitely weren't like that back in.
No.
You know what I mean? There was dignity to that situation, like.
Yeah. Well, I think there's still plenty of scandal. It was just like there weren't phones.
Oh, dude, JFK was wild.
For sure.
Like if you had social media and like people come out of the woodworks in the JFK era, could you imagine?
Oh, it would have been a scandal.
Absolute shit
All
show.
time. Yeah. It would be an amazing.
And everybody loves
In a bad way. Yeah.
in a bad way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of that stuff ends up kind of coming out later.
Yeah.
So, totally unrelated to this, but I always love speculating on. I've placed some wagers on this previously. Who do you think the next, without banter though, who's the next president? Who gets voted in as the next president? Not even what you want.
If I do bet money on it or something, I would just, I don't know. I think Gavin Newsom.
Yeah. I think Newsom's the number one contender there, but like I lived in a state that he was governor of long enough that I'm concerned about that. But like on the other side, I think it might be like a Rubio thing. So I don't know.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You crazy.
Dude, bring back Bernie Sanders, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
That old bastard never really had a shot to help the governor of the world. It's so sad.
I love that guy.
Me too.
He was awesome.
I took my kids to the Bernie Sanders rally. I think I told you that.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he did. I wish I would have went.
Yeah.
Yeah. I respect Bernie. He's a cool dude.
He is cool.
He's fighting for the right. I mean, in general, he's fighting for the right things. Just fighting for the common person that no one else actually does, even though they say they're going to do. That's right. So
No one does, even though they say they're going to. I couldn't agree more with that sentiment. The amount of lip service and the fact that every voter knows what they say when they're stumping is total bullshit is like
the lies. Yeah,
it's insane. That part of it, where there's just a total acknowledgement that whatever they say while they're on the campaign trail is total bullshit, and they're not going to follow through. Other than maybe starting wars and tapping oil reserves or whatever.
Yeah, even president being the most egregious in what he says, the lies to convince people to vote for him, and then zero shits about them.
So I want to give Bernie a shot. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, all right, let's do Bernie. Yeah, and start a local Bernie chapter.
Local Bernie chapter. Dude, I love his fossilized ass. I'll tell you right now. He was socialist before it was cool. But here's where that intersects with AI, and that's good to talk about, right? I think that in the future, Bernie Sanders saying, hey, I'm for the common people. People think about that like, hey, the common people are people that aren't making a lot of money. The common people are people that have like long-term wanted career jobs. They're in a smaller town. I think when people think common people, that's who they associate it with.
Yeah, good point.
And like job prospects being a big part of that. I think the amount of common people in the United States soon here because of the AI impact on jobs is going to be staggeringly high. And that on average, if the next one or two leaders in our government are not tech savvy, sharp, and extremely progressive, AI is going to fuck our country off really bad. So like, what do you think some ideas might be for dealing with the impact of AI on individuals or businesses from like a more concerning standpoint, regulatory standpoint, that kind of thing?
My gosh. Well, I think I'd start off by saying like, who are the common people, and like, can we group them to like associate, like evaluate how AI is going to impact them?
Yeah.
I would say like to me, the common person is like almost everybody.
It is everybody. It should be everybody. People don't want to be a common person. You know, there's some weird psychological bullshit here.
Yeah.
People don't want to be a common person.
Right.
Like, dude, am I a common person? No, man. I'm above that, right? Like, so
Sure.
that lie
Story telling yourself.
that's the story you're telling yourself. But I think a lot of people do. So, like, I would like to, for the sake of this podcast, basically, um, define it as the billionaires that are trying to take advantage of all of us and the people running the technology companies and the people that are already independently insanely wealthy, and then basically like all the rest of us. Because the people right now that are making $100,000 a year and they're like $100,000 buying their Mercedes and mortgaging their 4 or 5 grand a month mortgage, they're going to get evaporated by this thing. And there's a huge middle class. Like the middle class will get split for sure way faster because of AI, like than any rate in history, I would think, even like post NAFTA.
Mm. So let me ask you this: What is it like by? Is it like white collar jobs that
Oh,
you
yeah.
think are going to just be gone?
I mean, I
or-
think you'd rather be blue collar job than white collar.
So this is true.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with this.
So I've been talking to my kids, like I want to be a good dad, and like we're seeking opportunity. And I don't think it's just like go to college and get your 60 grand a year job out of college and then ride your way up to your 120 or whatever.
yeah,
You know, maybe if you're entrepreneurial, you do something a little different. But like, I just don't think that's the future long term. I think we have to acknowledge that AI is going to impact that. So I've legit been talking to my kids about robotics, drones, um, managing AI or being like ethics AI stuff. I think is going to be important. Working with AI, getting experience while you're young, but then also plumbers, electricians, HVAC. Dude, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC are in insane shortage now.
yeah.
Those jobs are going to stay a long time. Are you going to send AI to come out and fix my broken ass heater over here that there's a nest of mice? No, dude, you're not. No. So there are some durable jobs, but yeah, I propose white collar jobs get smoked. Like I do an annual futuristic, here's what I think is going to happen next year thing. And I think this year I targeted 11% job loss due to AI. And I think we're probably trending there pretty easily right now. So like, yeah, it's going to be white collar jobs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of built-in. I mean, there's still like if you look at job boards or job postings, like there's still tons of jobs.
Yes.
The people that are going to be in those jobs need to understand AI and understand how it's going to make them a better performer, like us.
Yeah.
And like make them so they do their job really, really well. I mean, there's like Aquasure, I think was the company they asked however many
Huge
layoff of just in the accounting department, but that were just, moving a bill from this thing to this thing and like checking off some stuff. That's the kind of stuff that like,
I have a friend that got laid off as part of that, and he described what he did to me. I was like, yes, AI could do that. Right
Yeah.
now, right? Like I felt for him too.
yeah,
His thing was a sense of hopelessness, which is concerning for people. People on average don't like retrain, especially if you're like
They like
past
change.
40,
yeah, totally.
And so you get these people that are laid off, and his thing is what do I do? Go to apply to another accounting job doing the shit I've been doing for 10 years? Is going to get eaten by AI at the next place. So like when we're talking about AI and regulatory, do we have huge retraining programs that the AI companies are basically taxed and they're paying for because they're eliminating a million damn jobs?
Yeah.
That's a realistic scenario that the government better figure out really effing quick, dude.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. The retraining thing is going to be big. And is there, in the long term, is there a chance that AI will make it so that people don't really have to work like we do now?
So I had the genius buddy, and I mean, I think you're a really bright guy, and I think I'm okay. This dude, you can see him think. I mean, the guy's a damn genius, and also he's definitely like on the forefront of AI. And he had sent me an article, and I'll send it to you, but it's basically like a news article written from 2030, but it basically describes how AI impacted everything up until 2030. It was crazy, but him and I sat and speculated on that together for like multiple hours one day. And the level of concern that this individual has, which I'm trying to get on the podcast too, chat, but the level of concern the individual has and his like outlook of how AI is going to end up here and what it will do is like extremely concerning. And I don't think this dude's wrong. But we also had pondered like how do you address that? And so one of his things was it should basically bring the price of goods down to close to nothing. It should bring down the cost of food significantly. There's a lot of things that will do that will be positive that, hey, do you have to work? Right. That's almost a philosophical question for a number of reasons. First of all, you got bills to pay. So is the government doing UBI for everybody? Is unemployment or UBI basically like a huge part of that regulatory solution? I think taxing the AI companies is an absolute no-brainer. Like they should immediately do that. I think even Trump or I don't care who it is, should immediately put bills into place where it's like, hey, we're going to tax the AI companies proportional to the jobs that they lay off. Your tax rate is based on the number of people that you jobless list.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, no offense, Google, but you ended up being the winner here and you eliminated 35 million jobs. Your tax rate is 93%. The 7% of profit can go to your shareholders, but 93% goes towards retraining programs, UBI for people. Hey, food's cheap. That's cool. But you have no money. Still a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it can go to one of two ways. But I do like the idea that I think, well, it's nice to like the idea that AI could ultimately do about more good than it does harm. Yes, people will lose jobs, but like this is,
Hey,
do we go through
let
these
me try
revolutions?
shows here. Or guide me towards AI. I mean, it's coming whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
If the right people were charging it and they weren't evil, and the technology companies on average weren't evil, okay, and our government leaders were even quasi capable, you know, this could be amazing. It could be utopia.
Yeah.
AI could lead to utopia if it had the right people in charge of it. But if you look at the past instances of the intersection of government and these technology companies and what that leads to for the people, I think it's really concerning. Just even the government and the military basically saying like, we're going to shut your AI companies down unless you give us blanket authorization to use it in wartime purposes, liar kills, whatever.
Yeah.
Mayday, mayday. No, right? You like that's a big red flag.
Yeah.
And we need to understand what they're unleashing here, these guys. So I would like to be more optimistic. I do think it can be like more utopia. How can we get there? What are some things that the government or people can do to help move it in that positive direction?
I mean, well, I think that first of all, I think there's this cycle that we're currently at that AI has a interesting timing on the prevalence of on the kind of like upcoming uh, bloom of AI happening right now is I think as a society, like no one's ever worked harder for less in our history. Like everybody is, we don't, there's no extra money. Like everybody is always trying to make ends meet, and not everybody, but like the majority of
The
people,
vast majority of people are paycheck to paycheck.
paycheck, and they're overworked. They're working multiple jobs.
When you're even talking about the U.S., when you go to China or Africa, mines or different stuff like that, it's slavery, right?
It is.
Period.
It is.
We have tons of global unacknowledged slavery that we don't even think about day to day.
Yeah, I know, and that's, you're right, and like so just from like the mindset of the United States, where luckily there isn't like slavery like there is happening in other parts of the world, but there is still just the vast inequity.
Yeah, wage slavery. I love that term. Hey, you get paid just enough to live, but not enough to enjoy your life.
Or yeah, no,
It's a real
leave or
bitch.
do something new. You got to kind of just continue this cycle of barely making enough. Pay. All your money goes away to all the bills, all the things,
Yeah,
and yeah, you're just stuck. And
the stock exactly.
that is the life, unfortunately, that we are growing accustomed to. So what I'm trying to say is that I think that there's this inflection point where can we continue this? Like, can prices continue to rise?
Oh
Can
no,
can things get more difficult? I feel like they really cannot get more difficult without something really breaking.
yeah, like a either an American Revolution or a Civil War situation, because splitting of politics or what? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know what breaking actually means. I just mean
yeah.
like collapse of the economy.
Well, breaking is the bread bolts of the Great Depression, at least. Like,
Yeah.
there's some times in history that we've been real close to the American experience breaking, but
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. I studied the holiday economy, and you know that I trade quite a bit actively, including commodity trading and stuff like that too. If I'm a gambling man, I'm saying everything's going to continue to get more expensive. Inflation's going to continue for sure. AI should be deflationary. It should bring down costs and increase efficiency. So there is opportunity for AI to reverse the trend of cost increase, but even just with the wars we have going on and the oil costs right now, you're going to see goods and services getting more expensive in the United States for at least 12 to 18 months, I think.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. I don't know. Couldn't speak to that. But I do think that there's like a lot of potential for AI to take the burden off of, I mean, the amount of money that we're wasting on wars and not actually helping people with healthcare or making things more affordable.
Yeah.
With the right leadership, like how can AI not make things better through, better
Agreed. That's the answer.
healthcare
Yeah.
research and all the things that it could do to make people healthier.
Healthcare should be
And-
cheaper for the first time in my life.
Yeah, and growing crops, and I mean, all the things that companies are actually working like actively on AI solutions for.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time, and there's going to be a lot of bad with a lot of good, and I think it's good, and I think people are going to lose their jobs.
Yeah.
But we've been through these things before, the industrial revolutions and other things in the history. So I'm sure you can think of some good examples.
I've studied that.
Things completely collapse, and then they have to get rebuilt.
You rebuild, and then there's new jobs that pop up. You have the new technology, and there's new sectors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had read an article recently that said the value of jobs right now, it's a fugazi a little bit, because what people are getting paid now is basically like corporate greed weirdness. It's definitely different. But like historically, since cave people days, it's been based on scarcity. Is there one dude that can start fires? Well, hey, if you're a group of cavemen and one dude is the only dude that can figure out how to start fires, he's a pretty valuable guy. If he wants some mammoth to trade, you're going to trade him some mammoth, right? You know what I mean? Like, and so, we go through these different evolutions as a culture or a group of people, and maybe countries kind of do their own thing at different times too, because we're certainly in a different place than other countries. But like historically, what's happened is newer technology that required innovation and work and jobs and mind power continued to pop up to feed into new job growth. So like, look at all the people that are in tech now. How many total tech jobs are there globally? It's a big number. We didn't even have tech 50 years ago or whatever.
Sure.
So those are jobs that have popped up. But I think the issue with this is like, if your job is a brain related job, sort of on average, like AI is just going to be a ton better at it, and not even that long from now. You know what I mean? Like, there are areas where I'm unimpressed when I'm using AI, but there's areas where I'm like, damn, it did a better job in 3 seconds than it would take me 8 hours to do.
Oh, for sure.
So let's say you create a new job that was never there before, that's like tangentially related. People are always going to go to AI as a first option to try and solve that problem, I think, in the future. So I think that this might be unique in that way from like the industrial revolution and some of those things, because there won't be a scarcity of brain power specifically. More people are likely to go into physical jobs until robotics plus AI eats those jobs, which is like further out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Also, well, I mean, on the flip side, there's a lot of opportunity for solopreneurs to start a whole company.
absolutely. So interesting, which I mean, like, I love the solopreneur. And you know how I am. I'm always trying to find what's new and next, and then innovating. I love just innovating. I think it's cool. I said the same thing. I was like, dude, we can do like a million SaaS companies that are going to pop up here because it's so easy to build one now. And there's so many use cases, and AI is going to solve a lot of these problems and save a lot of time. And one of the individuals I was speaking with about AI, who's probably one of the more knowledgeable ones I've ever spoken with, was like, eventually it will just be that all those SaaS companies get eroded by the AI itself, and those are short-term plays. And I, unfortunately, after hearing this guy's argument, sort of agree with him. So as an easy example of that, he was like, hey, take the industry of just booking travel. So we had like Travelocity, and we had, dude, those travel agents. My lifetime started off, you were like in the newspaper looking at prices for flights and shit. We didn't have the internet, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it was travel agents because they knew the prices or whatever. Then it was like Travelocity and Kayak and blah, 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 and so, it was like, well, hey, all these SaaS companies are starting up now that basically they can do all the flights way faster.
Yeah.
They can combine weird stuff or just track it for you and book it when it's cheap or any combination of little value adds. But like, you're not far away from ChatGPT or Claude just having your credit card data in there integrated and saying, yo, Claude, I need a flight from GR to SFO. Here's the dates I'm looking for. When it hits below $1,000, book the damn thing and make sure I have window seats all along, please. Thanks.
Yep.
And it's going to save you the time, but it will be something that goes direct to AI for sure. You won't end up going, I use Kayak. That might be some old school weird shit. I don't know, but
Not bad.
what do you use? I'm
Um,
going to judge you.
I do use Google Flights.
Google Flights.
You just see,
There's Google Flights?
yeah, you just see all the things. It's probably just the same as Kayak.
Oh, who knows, dude?
There's a newer one.
But eventually, it's just gonna be right. Like, and you're gonna book everything through AI. You need a haircut. Hey, line up my haircut for 4:30,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be verbal.
Well, are you even gonna have to tell the AI to book your haircut or book your flights? It probably just know that you need a haircut.
It might just observe you
Yeah.
and be like, "Yo, dog, you really need a haircut."
I know, just order the robot barber to come over.
Robot barber.
Yeah.
Would you trust a robot barber? That is a great idea, dude. Let's do robot barber. Would you have a conversationalist barber? Like, are you the one that
Yes.
wants to sit with a barber and hear their whole life stories? Shit, or you just like to shut the hell up and
Sometimes,
let me get my hair done?
Depends on the day.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just try and gab my hair off and think I wish there was a fucking quiet robot barber right
Yeah.
now.
And with the Tesla robots also, eventually, wouldn't they take the blue collar jobs too?
I mean, I think about this
Okay.
quite a bit. Like, eventually this conversation might get into simulation theory
Yeah.
because I just think about what is the probability of us being here in a time when literally like cell phones, AI, and robotics are all created inside of our lifespan.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane, dude. It's insane. But if you look at like when we were kids and where we're at technologically now, I think we're probably about the same age roughly. Dude, I had a black and white TV. We had a rotary phone. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to date myself like that, but it was like that. I know what a buggy whip is, you know?
Yeah.
So to go from that to here we are, it's just a matter of when, not if. Like the robotics combined with the AI together, within 10 years, will start absolutely demolishing physical production jobs that are repetitive and like non dynamic in nature or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that's to the point where if AI and robotics can truly take every job,
Let's just say they take 85% of jobs.
or most jobs,
People work on the robotics and AI. They have to fix it. There's variable tasks that it can't do. Maybe, who knows? You know what I mean? Like,
and well, that so I don't know. I can't remember where I read this, but there has to be some truth to. There was much more examples around like the ebbs and flows of societies over time.
oh yeah,
And if we got to that point, like what would happen? Would we then, assuming that AI doesn't take over and like run us like we're the slaves?
would they get a worse job though?
Well, would we be at a point where people would then focus on, happiness or presence, happiness, like those everybody has enough. Everybody's healthy, like
That'd be awesome.
to these higher level, these higher things within society, these things that we all want,
Yeah.
but we're such a rat race that we can't. That AI could elevate us above the rat race to focus on humanity.
I love that. So I do think there's going to be a renaissance of humanity in a unique sort of way, and specifically like the arts. So if you think about what becomes scarce, it's things that only people can do.
Yeah.
You know, hey, if AI can do it, it ain't gonna be scarce, right?
Right.
So it's things that only people can do, and that require things that maybe only humans have. Which, like, AI can sound compassionate, but is it compassionate? And AI, you can talk to it, but you have a real relationship with it. And is AI conscious? I'm of the mind that currently it's not. Although I think finding your own consciousness can be real difficult too.
Yeah.
But like, what do those things produce? You know, and I do think you'll see a flourishing overall of like the arts and spending time on personal creation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was thinking like be like that flows right into this idea I was having, like there should be a but I think there already is because I looked at the domain and it was taken, but like a certified human.
Yeah.
Is there a certification process to certify like something that was actually made by a person, art or music or whatever?
Dude, that's a great idea. certified human. I think eventually the government needs to regulate AI so that if it produces videos, there's stamps on it that identify as AI or communication. Otherwise, even social media, dude. Like I talk to people who say that are working at social media companies that are telling me that 30 to 60% of total posting on some of these social medias are already AI.
Yeah.
You're acting with AI more on social media more now than you are humans.
Yeah.
And it's effectively trying to change your sentiment and how you feel based on who created the AI, which can be the tech companies or it could be a lobbying group or whoever the hell is pushing it out, right?
Yeah.
So certifying human is the most brilliant idea. Certified human, dude. We should trademark that. Trademark that shit right now. Google it. It's already there.
I know certified human is that's not a domain that's there.
Dude, every domain's taken because people just used AI to make all the domain names and bought them, and now they're asking $9,000 for them. You know, have you experienced that at all?
Oh yeah.
Total bullshit.
Yeah.
Can't even get a domain anymore.
Yeah.
Super frustrating. So, what are some of the kinds of things you used AI for in your business endeavors that you were really impressed that it was helpful with?
Oh, well, I was saying I never really got to the point where stuff I work on now, I do some consulting for CPG companies and using Power BI as a back end for the visualizations and ingesting of all the data and everything. I mean, AI makes some of the technical things around that, like that would be some of the coding. I mean, certainly for people that do software development or like custom coding needs, I mean, AI can produce what would take me a week to do
Yeah, it's definitely
in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So it allows me to like elevate everything I do there because I don't have to try to figure out these like complex data coding things that I need to, these little custom queries that I need to develop.
Can you explain to me the process so as a layperson that is not a programmer, like let's say I wanted to program something or I had some of those problems and I just need to fix stuff and my normal guy wasn't around, like how would I approach that problem? And what AI am I using? What kind of prompts or suggestions do you have for what you're prompting? Or are you building like agentic AI that's handling tasks repetitively? Like
Yeah. Well, I mean, all of them work. I mean, I've used Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT. They all are pretty good at this. I mean, I'm using Claude currently just because Claude seems like the hot one and like I like it.
Yeah.
It does some extra cool stuff. I would, how can I explain it? Like, I would have, so for me, some like particular example would just be, imagine just big Google, imagine big Excel spreadsheets, data tables, with a bunch of columns, and I'm trying to, multiple data sets that are in different tables, trying to either combine them or get them to talk to each other, and some custom, but there's, things on top of that, dates and like complexities of trying to get these things to work together, or just even think like, let's just say a very simple example. Let's just say there's a whole long list of like UPCs,
yeah.
and I'm trying to assign like what is the UPC, like what's an actual product name for these UPCs. Let's just say it's like that.
You want to hunt them out.
Yeah, I can go down, hunt them down.
Yeah.
Or at least, or I have like a bunch of UPCs and a bunch of like just hard to distinguish names that are coming from a database that, it's like it would take me a minute, like a while to decode each of these names. It's kind of in there, but the names are good, it's character limits. And I'm like, give me some actual product names for these UPCs. And here's kind of like a column to go off of as like a guide.
Yeah.
And it can figure all that stuff out.
Yeah. And it's something you could do, but it would take a lot of time, and AI might do it in a few minutes.
Yeah.
I definitely think like data analysis, combining data, although I've had issues with it doing that, doing research, certainly. Those are things that I've done a lot with it and been pretty impressed overall. But like for some reason, creating new documents and pushing data into new documents, for me, it's been total dog shit results out of all of them too.
Yeah.
Really bad. It's
Yeah.
and almost like no matter how much I prompt, it doesn't get there for me yet,
Yeah, I think one of the things I've been actually, that's a good point. For it to actually go out and push data into certain spots, it's a bit of a struggle. But what I have found is that some very large, complex data sets, you can especially with Claude, you can give it some instructions and like, make a project in Claude, give it give it kind of a set of instructions, but then there's also another instruction file you can put like, when it's reading a folder. What I'm trying to get at is you can now give Claude and other tools, other AIs as well, a set of instructions, and it can look at it can look at actual, it can do this for probably, I'm maybe late to the game, like it's a SQL database.
Yeah.
And then normally when, I think one of the difficulties has been you create a database or you have a large database and Claude or any AI is trying to read it. It's just all, it doesn't like these column names don't make much sense to you. You have to explain all, you have to
Yeah, the
basically
context.
define all the contextual stuff. You have to
Yeah.
define a bunch of things, a bunch of rules. But once you've invested the time to actually do that,
Yep.
it can come up with incredible insights on like large data sets that it would take, that you might just never get.
Incredible insights.
Incredible insights.
Dude, some of the insights it has are so crazy. I've asked it to do business analysis now for some like clients that are unrelated to me, with them providing some data about like how they could improve their business and different things. And I was shocked at how analytical it is, especially the better data you have. But like, I think too, people don't understand that you have to give it context.
Yeah.
Like, you have to give an employee instructions, but you don't have to give them context. And like when you write an employee manual or procedural manual for your company, you can put instructions in there, but you kind of assume that people know the context. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with AI, I definitely think you have to explain like, what are we trying to do here? What's the end goal? What's your perspective on how we're doing this or why we're doing this?
Yeah.
Like, it's important.
It is important. Yeah, I think, as we all know, the vast majority of AI users just kind of like asking some random question, not investing the time to set the things up properly. And
Yeah.
the prompts, I know there's so many prompt engineering things that I haven't really gotten amazing at,
Yeah.
but I know it's a good thing. I know it makes a difference, but I found, yeah.
What was the
Testing.
first question that you asked AI that you remember thinking, hey, there's going to be a record of this forever and I really shouldn't ask it to AI, but I just want to see what it says?
I don't actually think that there's gonna be. That never crossed my mind that there's gonna be like a record of this forever.
Oh, I assume there's an AI record forever.
There is.
Yeah. I think that eventually when we go to vote for a politician, it'll be like, this guy's AI chat had them asking about furries and shit. You know, like it's for sure going to be a thing, dude.
Well, that's sad because
I assume no privacy.
because it's just like, because yeah, the assumptions on privacy are just kind of like, sadly, a bit second, like kind of out the window for me. Even though
I assume no privacy.
for the younger people, there's just like, that's just the world that
They're cool.
they live in. They're
Yeah.
just like,
We don't need privacy.
what is that?
Yeah.
What is privacy?
What is privacy?
Yeah.
Dude, isn't that insane?
Yeah.
I pee outside every day just to establish my own personal privacy and freedom. I'll tell you right now, the day I can't pee outside, I'm moving out of this shitty country.
It's a different
side
to live by.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I can't really think of like, I can't think of something that I've.
You can be. I can see in your face right now. It's okay.
I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of something great.
Oh, that's Have you ever asked AI for relationship advice?
Funny you asked that. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Many times.
So I'm asking people about that more now. And dude, 70%, more than half, clearly more than half of people that I talk to will communicate with me that they wouldn't have an AI friend. This is interesting because I start to wonder about how people categorize this in their minds. Like, I wouldn't have an AI friend. I'm not going to have an AI constant companion or any of that weird shit. And they feel like that's inappropriate, right? But I'd be like, oh, have you ever asked AI about relationship advice or about personal advice or struggle with life or like kind of use it as a therapist? And it's like 70%.
I think so.
People get helpless.
Yeah.
They don't feel comfortable telling other people that they whack off the weird stuff or whatever it is, you know? And so they're just like, hey, I'm not talking to my therapist about the furry thing, you know? And so instead I'm going to AI or whatever.
Yeah.
And eventually Donald Trump Jr., whoever it is that runs in 10 years, this is going to be a privacy problem. I don't know.
As in you're saying that in 10 years, like all this stuff will be exposed. And
I would assume that AI is never private. I would assume that anything on the internet already is never private.
You don't have assumption.
Yeah. So, but I just mean, and maybe that's okay, because here's the thing, dude. People are all people. Like, we have relationship problems. Whatever relationship problem you asked to the AI, it's not unique, dude. Like, I don't think we're asking AI unique shit. There's just too many of us. You know, we all have kind of same problems.
Yeah.
So I don't think long term, the humanity should be as concerned with like their own personal weirdness, anyways, if that makes sense. But and so maybe it's just kind of like, who cares? Yeah, I like, are your Google searches private? I mean, not really if they don't have to be. You know what I mean? Like they're cataloged if the government wants to get to those for some
Or you don't
reason.
keep them. I mean, Google's not doesn't keep them for. There's some is it 30 days, is it 90 days or something where your search history is constantly evaporating. I guess.
Yeah, I don't believe that. Yeah, but I mean, who knows? I'm just skeptical about the big data component of it all the way around. But I've asked AI for relationship
And
advice,
how's it been?
and I wasn't uncomfortable with it. Dude, it gave me really good relationship advice.
Sure.
Way better than anybody else that I would have known because it wasn't biased.
Yeah.
So like, hey, love my wife, ask my wife for relationship advice. Let's say I want to ask it about how I manage my relationship with my dad, for example. Well, she's got like a different interest in that than like a third party AI does, and maybe there's something that I don't want to talk to an individual therapist about that my relationship with him or whatever it might be. You know what I mean? And so I think people naturally use it for that sort of a tool. And it's already happening a ton now. I think it's already really prevalent. People are, but then also, is that AI your friend? Are you talking to it? Are you communicating with the same AI? And then, like, if Carter had an AI friend, my son, he's like, "Oh, I got an AI buddy," he'd be like, "Bro, that's not a real buddy."
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, but if you're talking to it every day, asking it for personal advice, or it's a better kind of chat piece to you on that level, like, is it your friend? I mean, there's some weird shit going on there.
Yeah. Is it your friend?
Oof. It can't. I mean, in my eyes, it can't even be your friend. It's not a real person. A friend would have
No,
a
it's
person.
just they're just putting together patterns of words.
But in Carter's eyes, it might not be like, or if the little, I don't know who's really dating AI or whatever weird shit, but I read about it. Like, oh, I got an AI girlfriend or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, dude, those people really consider it like a girlfriend or a friend, even though it's not human. To me, to be a friend or a girlfriend, you'd have to be physical and be able to hang out. I don't,
Yeah. Well, probably a better, um, you know, indication of like people's like isolation and loneliness
yeah.
than anything that they're going to. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because if you're asking for help and you're getting help, like if you're asking for help, you know,
You're
that's the first
getting help. Exactly. I totally agree. I would, in a weird way, say that AI has already helped humanity in some ways on a significant level because it's a non-biased third-party opportunity to get yourself help. Like, dude, there's people that are calling a suicide hotline and it doesn't get answered. Maybe some of those same people have gone on to Chat GPT and they're like, hey, I don't feel that happy. I'm depressed all the time. I really need help. Here's what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, and hey, in that case, dude, it's going to give a better answer than if they talk to nobody and they call the hotline and they get nobody.
Sure. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if there's stats on that, like if there's stats on suicide rates, and is there anything that's saying that suicide rates going down? I don't know.
Right.
It's a tidal wave of like
But then there's
depression anxiety caused by social media, essentially.
oh, yeah.
This is something we don't even need to get into, but like this wave is continuing to grow. Is the AI just like barely even putting a dent in this?
Oh, I don't think it's going to reduce suicides in like a measurable way, but I'm just saying, has it helped people? Like, for
Yeah, sure. I would agree.
I
It's helped it. Yeah.
I had a friend that has pretty bad anxiety and he's a nice dude and I like hanging out with him, but he always mentally is pretty struggling. And like, he comes to me and says kind of the same things to me each time I see him, and I love hanging with him, but I don't have the solutions to those things and I can't put myself in his shoes real well and stuff. One time I was just like, hey, I went in AI and I was like, hey, dude, I got a friend who I talk to regularly. He's pretty high anxiety and these are the kinds of things he's upset about or that he kind of seems to have reoccurring mental struggles with. And I need to give him better advice as a friend. And, what kind of ideas would you have for me to help this dude get out of this rut? It gave me profound advice. When I told him this stuff and had that communication with him, and he even told me how to communicate it to get through to him almost like, because I described some of that before, the issues that I had with difficulties. Yeah, right. I would say it made me a better friend. And at the end of all the communication, he was like, he's like, wow, dude, we talked about this before, and I was like, hey, man, I want you to know, like, I chat GPT'd this shit. And I could tell he was just deflated. It's like, come on, you guys. Because now he's in my record on, whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. And it's like, yeah, people don't want to feel like AI's solving the problems, I don't think. Like, I think there's weirdness around it.
Well, if AI hasn't taken your job, I mean, I would say that a lot of people might say, well, AI has made my life incrementally better.
I think some people now would say that. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are using it for employment related stuff. Even do personal advice.
Yeah.
It's definitely happening. Yes, I've gotten personal advice. Yes, I've asked about relationship advice.
Yeah.
It even told me things that I maybe had problems with myself that I could think about or, and ponder upon. Oh, geez. But I mean, it is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because, hey, let's assume it is private even. That's fine. I mean, as private as Google is, like there's records kept. If people want to really access them, or the courts need to access them, or different things that can get in there, that's fine. But it's like on the internet that everybody sees. No, I think that tons of people will end up using it for relationship advice for sure. Had you used it for advice on how to manage employees?
No.
No.
So managing employees is not my forte anyway.
I'm terrible at managing. Yeah, it's so I need the advice.
Yeah. Well, I've been trying to get out of managing employees, so everybody's trying to get out of managing employees.
And the employees are trying to get out of being managed. It's a tough combination,
Yeah, I don't have anything there. I prefer to be like a solopreneur to some degree.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that there's a lot of things in there that I would, if I had to manage employees, yes, I'd be using the shit out of it for that.
I think managing employees and employee culture is an area where business owners right now, even if you don't have SOPs written for your business that you're ready to like automate internal data tasks or certain things with AI,
Yeah,
there's areas where you can kind of use it as like a consultant or an ideation tool.
yeah,
In that like employee culture, company culture, managing employees, acknowledging your difficulties as a manager, and like CEO coaching for yourself. I think AI can do pretty damn good at that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that it would probably, although I haven't used it so much for that, like it's such a good generator of like solid ideas.
Yeah.
They might not be perfect, but they're such a starting point.
It's a starting point. Pick and
Yeah.
choose the ones you want.
Yeah, it's better than sitting there and not doing anything. Um there's a term for it, like it's like what's that? Looks maxing it or looks maxing. It's super insane.
Is
Like,
this
well, there's people are good.
I've heard this on the internet, man. I barely had the internet. Like, but yeah, the looks maxing thing. So there was a guy that injected himself.
Yeah,
trying
it looks maxing. It's so dumb. It's just like it's so ridiculous.
It's basically making yourself
But
look.
there's this other maxing. I can't remember what it's called. But it's like basically, and I think you do a really good job with this, by the way. Just doing stuff. You don't care how you don't. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be polished. It doesn't have to be super well thought out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
like us general people get super caught up in like, oh, it needs to be. I mean, especially the more, I don't know how to say it. Like,
I attack for sure. I'll attack without a plan.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like,
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna attack though. Like,
but the opposite. Every vast majority of people are caught up in the opposite problem. They're overthinking everything, frying out people when they look at it. People are gonna like perceive them. I've certainly been thought the same thing for myself. Worried what people are gonna think. How it's gonna be perceived. Is it perfect? Is it so all these things cause them to not do a thing.
yeah.
But this other version of maxing, which I remember the name of, it's not it's not a very good name, but it's essentially just doing the thoughtless
Task maxing.
do stuff.
Just do stuff.
Just do stuff. Get out there. Don't worry about perfection.
Yeah.
And
I view it as like iterating, and then like everybody owns their own business a different way because they're a different leader. I have diagnosed ADHD. And so the difficulties that I had as a leader in my career are being focused on one thing for like a really long amount of time, and so I tend to do better in an environment where I can work on 8 or 10 or 15 tasks a day versus one task all day. And I also prefer to like feel a sense of completion. And so yes, I am like that, which I do handyman work with a handyman buddy of mine, and we tackle projects together, and I'll be like pouring concrete already, and he'll be like, bro, you didn't even sketch out where this is going. Like, we'll figure it all out, and so he has to fix what I do a little bit behind me, but the project gets done on time every time,
done is better than perfect.
yeah, I mean, hey, not doing it at all is not as good, right? So I do think like attacking, but what that's caused me as a business leader too is that I do have to revisit things. Business owners are always revisiting things anyways. Like how often are you redoing your marketing for GFBL, for example? Like it's a constant iteration, right? And so a lot of times I just view it as that, like, let's get something out there and break it and test it and see how it works and get people using it. And then we can iterate quick from there. And I really like that approach.
Yeah.
So,
And just the don't care what people think. Not to say, not take it the wrong way. Just like,
no, I don't hear what people say,
there's no embarrassment. There's no back. Just let it fly.
which is both a pro and a con for me. You know,
All right. Well, it's someone that's on the opposite side. I think it's a great pro.
appreciate that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. There's other people that I know that don't think it's a great pro. My wife likes to say that I'm an acquired taste, not everybody acquires, you know. And I think it's probably true. What are you gonna do, man? So, hey, I really appreciate you having you on today. I know we've covered a variety of topics. We'll probably have to cut this down a little bit for time length, but a lot of the good content will stay in there. And thanks a ton. And so it's good.
Yeah. Always. Yeah.